Ho, ho, ho! Are there any nice B2B founders here? Well, if there are, today I'm going to show you some of my magic sauce in terms of how I create prompts for B2B businesses. So, throughout this video, you'll receive a ton of different prompts that you can just copy paste with your own business information and get complete prompt chains out that you can use to automate the boring grunt work that you do on a day to day basis. This will take you practically no time and it will save you tons of hours throughout the next quarter and the next years. So, this will be a very high leverage investment for you to sit and watch this video. So, let's just get straight into it. So, the first step that you want to be doing is to take this first prompt from the document. You'll find the document down below, and you copy this and you move it to Gemini. And then inside of Gemini, you want to change a few things inside of this prompt. So as you can see here, we have input data that we need to update. So here you need your offer memo to be added, and here you need your lead magnet context. If you're new here, you don't know what I'm referring to. But in this Christmas calendar that we're inside of, we have been creating an offer memo using AI. So you want to add in all of the details you have about your offer, and you want to add in your full lead magnet in here. If you don't already have these, I recommend you to go back to the days where we actually are making these. The offer memo was made on day 2 and the lead magnet was made on day 4. So if you haven't already done this, then start there and go back and do it. The outputs will be so much better, I promise you. So now, as you have done it, then you go in and you update these when you send it into Gemini. Here you can see that I have done this myself. I won't scroll through all of it because this is way too long to do. And then the output that I have received is different sorts of opportunities that I can pursue to automate some sort of task that Gemini then assumes that I do, given all of the context it now has about my offer and about how I approach the offer, which is from the lead magnet. So it outlines 5 opportunities for me here. I will spoil it for you and tell you that I chose opportunity number 1, which is a spiderweb node generator. The short description, we will look at this later, but the short description is that this is a prompt sequence to take a resource and to figure out what type of call to actions we can embed inside of the resource to go to different sorts of resources so that we create this spider web infrastructure as we've talked about, where people start consuming one resource and then it's always embedded that, by the way, you should be doing this or you should be checking out this everywhere. So we'll look at how that turns out. So after we've received the first output here, we go over to step 2, which is the architect prompt. So now you want to copy this prompt here. You click copy as with before. And then under input data, you just need to do one change. And that is to just write which concept that you chose. You can write 1 here. You can write I select 1. You can write I select 1, but keep in mind these and these things. Like, you decide how you want to go about it. But the point is that you need to get one of them across. So I did this inside of this prompt here. So here you can see input data. I want to make opportunity 1. So when I sent this now to Gemini, then I get a skeleton out. I get basically an overview of the prompt chain that we're creating to automate that type of work that I was doing before, which was to figure out how I would structure these types of spiderweb assets together. So first of all, like, I very rarely even read this. I read it to just make sure that things make sense and is like logically yeah, aligned with what I can actually make. But you can see here it has an operational directive, prompt chain inventory. So prompt 1, the gap auditor, which has this function, reads the full text and identifies specific sentences where a complex topic is mentioned but not explained. It acts as a heat map for reader curiosity. And then we have a prompt 2, the bridge engineer, who takes the specific locations identified by the auditor, so in the first prompt, and writes the link text and the destination title. So this basically creates all of these embedded call to actions throughout my resources. And then there's some dynamic variables that needs to be in place, the algorithmic logic flow, and an output interface design. So what we do then when it has outputted the flow of this prompt chain is that we go to prompt 3, which is the engineering prompt. So now we copy this prompt here. And you can see under the input data, we just need to update this insert here, which prompt from the inventory to build now. So if you remember what we looked at 30 seconds ago, then we had two prompts in my example here, which was the prompt 1, the gap auditor, and prompt 2, the bridge engineer. So then I sent this prompt here, and there under insert which prompt from the inventory to build now, I put prompt 1, the gap auditor, and I added the function which it said. So I just copied exactly what it said in the prompt above. And then the output is that I got this prompt here. So I received this, and then the next step is basically then to just take this, let's see here, to take this same prompt once more, again, this one, and then to update the input data with what prompt from the inventory to build. So then we chose prompt 2, and the output is then the second prompt. So then you have a prompt chain. The next step then is to actually run this and to test it. So I've already done this for you so that you can see. So here are my prompts. These are too long to actually go into, but they define how to create this type of spiderweb call to actions. And the input variables that it made me add is the pillar asset text. So basically the resource that we're putting together. And then I got out the opportunities for where to place them. And then I sent the second prompt that it created. And with this second prompt, it here creates different sorts of bridge copies that I can add in to my existing document with titles for what type of resources should I embed. And here we essentially have something that now got automated with AI that I used to spend a lot of time on doing. So now you can do the exact same thing. Go through these prompts, make it out for yourself, and then if something is wrong in the output, you just run this debugging prompt. So this is pretty obvious how you copy it, and then you would add in the original prompt that you just used, the output that you received in the demo, and your feedback. And then this will redo the prompt so that you can try again. Then do this over and over, and you have a system to create prompts for your business to automate your grunt work. This was pretty fast, it was pretty complex, but if you focus, you'll be able to do this and you'll get so much time back. So I hope this was helpful. This was day 20 of the Christmas calendar. We're getting towards the end now. We're getting towards the point where we have this whole infrastructure for doing trust marketing for our B2B businesses in place. Just to add in the invitation at the end here, if you've been going through this a little bit sporadically, or even if you've been going through every single day of the Christmas calendar, but you don't really have the time to implement all of these things, and you would rather just have everything set up because you're already busy with clients, then I recommend you to check in the calendar, which I have below, book in a time with me, and then I can help you see how we can install this type of infrastructure for you in 90 days without your involvement. So if that is something that is of interest for you and you see that you just don't have the time to implement all of this yourself, then take the time, book a call with me below, and I'll send you all the next step and all the information that you need. And then we'll have a nice talk. I might even take off my Santa beard and expose to you who I actually am. But obviously I can't do that in this video here for obvious reasons. So I hope this was helpful. This was day 20 of the Christmas calendar. We're almost at the end now. So enjoy the last 4 days of the calendar. And I can't do anything else than to say, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.